Lilith in Sagittarius. Wild energy in the sign of wilderness. Sounds good, right? Well, actually it is. It's one of the best placements for Lilith, I think. And we're all going to be experiencing that from the 20th of December, that's today when I'm shooting this little film, to the 14th of September 2026, which means like the first part of 2026 is Lilith in Sagittarius territory. Now, this happens every 9 years because she's on a 9-year cycle. And so the last time I think was 2017. And before that, 2007, 2008, before that, 2000. Now, this is a really important transit for everyone, of course, because we all feel it, but especially if you're a Sagittarian or a Gemini, it's going to be in your opposite sign, you're really going to feel it. Or if you're born, as so many of you are, if you're Gen Z, this is like a Gen Z transit. Why is that? Because you guys are defined, in my opinion, by having Pluto in Sagittarius. That is the Gen Z signature. And you're now going to have Lilith in Sagittarius too. So those two quite dark, intense energies are joining together for the next 9 months. Now, I've looked into Lilith in Sagittarius a lot, and I have noticed some really interesting things about features about people with Lilith in Sagittarius. There are numerous people who've started their own religions or their own cults. For example, and I quote, here is Aleister Crowley, known as the Beast, who basically started a lot of esoteric stuff in this country. And he said, the joy of life consists in the exercise of one's energies, continual growth, constant change, the enjoyment of every new experience. To stop means simply to die. The eternal mistake of mankind is to set up an unattainable ideal. So think really big when Lilith is in Sagittarius, because this is a philosophical sign, and this is an energy that has no boundaries. There are no boundaries with Lilith, and there are no boundaries with Sagittarius. So another person who started his own religion was L. Ron Hubbard, of course, the father of Scientology. And let me just see what quote I have from him. Oh, you don't get rich writing science fiction, said L. Ron Hubbard. If you want to get rich, you start a religion. Madame Blavatsky also started Theosophy. And she said, what writes history is the power of ideas, and every own moment offers the potential to write something new. So there's a big philosophical expansion that can happen, even by transit as Lilith goes through Sagittarius. Furthermore, it is quite revolutionary, because another person who kind of started his own religion, who also had Lilith in Sagittarius, is Mao Zedong, who said, a revolution is an insurrection, an act of violence by which one class overthrows another. Right? So are you ready, Gen Z, to come along and do your work? So what do I mean by all this? I'm not suggesting that we all have to go out and be revolutionary, but I'm suggesting that there is a wild energy that is going to be quite unleashed underneath all this other stuff that's happening in 2026. It's time of change. This surge of ideas is going to come through, and there are revolutionary ideas. In our own lives, Lilith in Sagittarius is a call to the rebel in you, the rebel in all of us. Especially so, I would say, for a lot of the mutable signs. So Virgo, not all of the mutable signs, there are only 4 of them, Virgo, Pisces, Sagittarius, and Gemini, you have this on really important angles of your chart. So it's like you may really meet people who are like Liliths, who are really inspiring, actually. And that's one of the things that is really fantastic about Lilith and Sagittarius, is there's an inspirational quality to it, a visionary quality to this. Martin Luther King Jr. had Lilith and Sagittarius as well. And we wouldn't say he started his own religion, but he was an incredibly charismatic leader. And all these guys that I've just talked about, and ladies, or lady so far, because we've got some more ladies coming up, are people with charisma. This is a time when so Madame Blavatsky was incredibly charismatic. Um, she was, in the 19th century, she was a woman who managed to start her own a whole philosophical movement. Um, but one of the real standout characters for me, who is like a Lilith in Sagittarius character, is Katniss Everdeen, who is, of course, the heroine of the Hunger Games. What is she? She's an archer, for a start. That's Sagittarian. She's a rebel. She is inspirational. She is a charismatic leader. And she is played by Jennifer Lawrence, who, guess what, has Lilith and Sagittarius on her ascendant. So she's channeling Lilith and Sagittarius straight out there. So I was really pleased to see that there's a reboot of the Hunger Games coming out this year, which seems so appropriate for that rebel spirit to be coming forth. So just a few pointers to Lilith and Sagittarius coming up. Oh gosh, another person who has his own cult is Carl Gustav Jung, the Jungians. He also had Lilith and Sagittarius. He was thinking big. And one of the things that he did, that also Madame Blavatsky did, and also Aleister Crowley, is they just took ideas from all over the world and mushed it together and came up with something brand new and really exciting for people. Actually, I think probably L. Ron Hubbard has done that as well. He's kind of a grab bag of ideas. I wanted to quote Mitski, who is the singer-songwriter, and frankly, a poet, right? She says, "I am a forest fire. I am the forest. I am the fire. And I am a witness watching it." So she's all of those things at the same time. And that's the expansiveness of Lilith in Sagittarius. It's an amazing, expansive moment. So I would urge you, during this year, during this time, to be thinking big, to be looking at, thinking wide, taking ideas from lots of cultures, and maybe traveling far and getting out into the wilderness and encountering that Lilith energy. This is not the Lilith energy of like jealousy and revenge. This is the Lilith energy of like, let's get out there and let's do stuff. Let's see stuff. Let's experience life.